Welcome to the midweek preview. The southerly has come and we are now reasonably comfortable because we're going to talk about WYNG tomorrow. It's an 8-race card. It's quite a good card, given that we've had fairly sort of skinny looking fields for a while now.
There's lots of decent field sides all day, isn't it? It's good.
Yeah, a few interesting debutantes, and it's a 2-metre rail with a cutaway, which I'm giving a preference to middle draws, but no biggie. Would rather not draw Gate 1, but won't be impossible. Race 1, 2100 metres, so Gordo went straight to race 2, of course, but a select field of 6 to go around in the benchmark 60, so obviously not a high grade of animal here. $3 in favourite, One Touch. $4.60 the mare Savinia. $5 Fly Till Dawn, $6.50 Red Viking, $8.50 Lords Off, and surprisingly despised $21 Secret Web. Good, you've got to be impressed with some of the records here. 4 from 24 Fly Till Dawn.
That's fantastic for that race. 5
from 30 Secret Web, 3 from 32 the favourite, One Touch, wow. 5 from 36 Lords Off, 2 from 23 Red Viking, and 2 from 29 Savinia. It's got that look about it, hasn't it?
It does have that look about it. I was just looking for something that I thought, I had a quick look, not a detailed look, something that might just be at the right stage of its preparation. So that was number 5, Red Viking. Had the 2,000 metre run last start, sat OSL. That seems to always be a good setup for next start in a distance race. So that was the one I was half interested in, and it was at reasonable odds in a weak field. So. But I'll leave it to you, Mark. Yeah,
well, look, there's actually good speed in, there's sort of 3 leaders in this race. Secret Web up to 2100, One Touch obviously wants to control, and Savinia would also like to control. Red Viking will posse up. So let's say that they race Savinia, One Touch, third the fence Red Viking, 1 out 1 back Secret Web, and the other 2 race at the back, Fly Till Dawn and Lords Off. Look, Fly Till Dawn's form it looks a bit patchy because he had 44 days off before he last started Gosford, where he had no opportunity at all. That was on Gosford Cup Day. His provincial staying form is amazing for the horse with the record he's got. 4 from 24, but his 4 wins are basically from his last 5 provincial distance runs.
Yep.
So and the other weird thing about this race is there's no good riders wanted to ride in this race, or no one.
I think it just stamps the whole race of having a certain level of quality about it, doesn't it?
Number 1 rider in this race has actually been McDougall.
Oh wow!
He's on the favourite, One Touch. Look, who I understand the attraction. He's worked his way up to some sort of into some sort of form in town, and then he comes back to the provincials. 2100 is as far as he likes to go. So for that reason, I gave the nod to Fly Till Dawn. Red Viking, you've made the case for him. He's an obvious one, and I'd be inclined to oppose the other 3. Lords Off is dangerous because he was very unsuited by a slowly run race at Scone last time, but what you saw 2 starts back is pretty much what Lords Off can do, which is only just enough for this race. Race 2, far more interesting, 1,000 metre 3-year-old race. And terminally pretty. I tell you what, it's terminal. All these Hawks T-Berry horses you see turning up, they're always hard in the market. Terminally pretty is $2.20. Does have a particularly strong form reference here. $4.60 Crystal Choice. $8 is Pub Grub. $11 Kingston. $11 the debutante Tiki Tala, and long odds the other 4. Now, Kingston backs up from Kembla on Saturday and stays at 1,000 metres amazingly. I'm tipping he gets ridden cold here. Not sure why. Repentant's got some speed. Terminally Pretty's got some speed. I'd suggest that Crystal Choice won't be too far away. Pub Grub has kept up in a couple of good recent trials, Gord.
9 Terminal Pretty I had as my top selection, but I have absolutely no interest in that price. These connections can be dangerous sometimes. They either look really flashy and win easily, or they do nothing. Well, I don't want to take short odds about that kind of situation occurring, so I went looking for something else. The other 2 that I might have a little bit of a go at are number 3, Pub Grub, and number 6, Crystal Choice. I'll talk about Crystal Choice first. Stable's absolutely flying, and it's had 3 trials for 3 wins. It's done absolutely nothing wrong. I thought its last trial over the 794 was good enough for this. And Pub Grub, even though it's in trials, I like horses trialling against good horses.
Yeah, you
know?
watch those trials and you go, wow, he's like done a good job to keep up with those horses.
Yeah, so it's like Scarlet Rain, obviously, and they gapped the rest of the field. So, yeah, got beaten by 3 lengths, but I like the fact he had the trip out down to Kembla and actually ran against what I consider is a far superior horse than what's running around here. So I'm interested in 3 Pub Grub and 6 Crystal Choice. I wasn't a big fan of Tiki Tala, which is sort of half found in the market.
Yeah, look, you know, a very, very pedestrian sort of trial, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, obviously B. Abdullah booked
Yeah.
is like, oh, well, you know, like he's a local here that... but, you know, the connections are what you see is what you get. Alan Keogh does a good job, but there's nothing hidden there.
Yeah, yeah. I saw that B. Abdullah there and I thought, oh, geez, so I had a specific look at, you know what I mean? You look a little bit closer. And
I know,
when
it
you
was a flag, wasn't
interrogated it. Yeah, it was a flag, yeah. And the flag came down after watching the trials.
Yeah, it was almost unimpressive, wasn't it?
What are you saying?
Strangely, look, terminally pretty. I saw that run in that seminal race, the the race that we've mentioned a few times in the last few months, the Sprite race at Rose Hill, which has produced oodles of good form. And she participated in that race. She's returned with a trial win. That's all good. She's got a great chance, and she's fuck all of a price. So Crystal Choice I had as a big danger. I can't get rid of Kingston, even though he's doesn't appear to be able to win on his last run. And Pub Grub, as you mentioned, like his trials are much better than his form because his 2 runs were terrible.
I'm saying this stable's new now.
Yeah.
So last time he was running around was 290 days ago. This stable wasn't doing what they're doing now. So
yeah, look, you can make
could be a new horse.
You can make that case because honestly, his trials look different to the runs that he had.
Yeah.
That's race 2. Race 3 over the 1200 metres, and Sleek is our favourite, $2.75. $4 Peaceful Sea, backing up from Kembla last Tuesday, so that's 8-day backup. $7 Dot Painting. $8 is Engaging with Karen McAvoy on board. $11 Tamarack. $13 Regimental Force, who ran odds on against Astern on debut. And that's pretty much it. $26 Refuge Bay down the bottom, 4-year-old mare that may run at Musclehook on Thursday. Regimental Force has the blinkers on and raced handy in a pressure maiden, the Magic Millions maiden at the Gold Coast. Sleek also has the blinkers on, can be expected to posse right up from 1,000 metres. Engaging has some speed and a wide gate. Naretha will do her best to keep up. Dot Painting should be next in the run.
Yeah, pretty keen on this race, actually, very keen. 2 massive positive about number 4 Sleek. Craig Williams to Brenton Abdullah, absolutely gigantic, and the Golden Switch is gigantic as well. If you notice when it was back on the inside, it had the option to lead, but he didn't want to push it too much. You don't have to make that decision when you're coming from a wide barrier now. He can choose to do whatever he wants, and he's a better jockey, particularly at this track. It's a horse that I think has ability, ran against some good oppositions last preparation, and I'm expecting something from it this preparation. And if it is going to do something this preparation, it's going to be winning this race. I saw that the odds have been snipped a little bit already. I'm not sure about what price I'm willing to take. Obviously, it's quite prevailing. Has that been scratched yet on a...
Who's that?
Terminally Pretty, or?
Yeah, it's out.
It's out? Yeah. Yeah, so particularly interested in Sleek, and I'm saying all those SPs about Regimental Force, that's just rubbish, isn't it? So we just had it wrong, did we?
Well, it's fallen over the horse. You know, it won by 9 lengths in a trial before debut, and then didn't get to the turn at Randwick on debut. Went for a spell, came back, didn't get to the turn again, and then the race that it actually was close up in was the worst 2-year-old race of the season.
Just another, I've mentioned it to you guys before, particularly at your Wyongs and your Gosfords. If you only get a run late, it's just a complete forgive run, and that was Sleek there. And if you noticed, you might have expected a little bit more spring when it went back to the inside Oxford Magic. It just was a little bit shy there, which won't happen from the wide barrier. And if you notice, when it did sort of establish it, the last 25 metres I thought looked very impressive. So keen on number 4, Sleek.
Okay, look, I've got a few problems with her. I don't know why he resumed her at 1,000. He certainly resumed. Look, everything you say about what happened in that race is true and accurate. Like unsuited. But that's a tragic race. And she's also 1,000 up to 1,200. She's got the blinkers on. So I did go looking elsewhere. I came up with number 1, Dot Painting, purely and simply because of the trial behind Eusebio. That's the form reference I'm looking at. Peaceful Sea, I'm a bit sick of, I must say. She came back to 1,200 last week and went okay. She now has to contend with Gate 1. She's going to be ridden.
Look, the only danger is Dot Painting because of the DF.
He may have nothing because I mean that the fact of the Magic Millions maiden is
doesn't make it. No, but I can't see Sleek getting into trouble. So you've got to go for the extreme DF and the stable on fire, and obviously they have an opinion of the horse to do that first up, which I thought was strange. All those trials, why wouldn't they give it a run before they?
Well, no. There was two. I suppose there was 3. Yeah, I think he had 9 weeks between 10 weeks between the Made in China trial and the WYNG trial. So sort of a spell.
Right, they had that much of a rap on him. They didn't want to run him in a race before that because they wanted to run around the Maiden.
No, I think that they were getting him ready and he went wrong. If I see that, I'm thinking that it had a mishap and they had to start again.
Okay, so why wouldn't you give him one trial and then run him?
Because I think it's a serious enough start again. It's still 9 weeks.
Okay. Well, anyway, what odds are the both of them anyway?
So Sleek is $2.75, Peaceful Sea is $4, Dot Painting is $7, and next pick is Engaging at $8, which I can make some sort of case for. I think he's been a bit hopeless, but third up with K McAvoy on board. Nevertheless, I didn't think they were giving you anything away there, given how disappointing he has been.
No, I'm just like 270 Sleek will be a big result, and I'll at least come out even if Dot Painting wins at the 7th.
Mile Maiden is our 4th event, and My Kind for the John Thompson stable is $2.80. Sahara Eagle, John Sargent stable this time is $3.20. We're out to $9.50 Arizona from the very hot Chris Waller yard. $11 is LABN, B Baker. $13 Canberra, C Waller. $15 Mirabeau, $17 Bianca's Lad. Speed is, I guess, Sahara Eagle. We've only seen her in a proper thing once. She had a short course trial and then she debuted in the race won by Royal Navy at Kembla, where she went to the front and was beaten only by Royal Navy, of course, big gap to the 3rd horse. She's obviously going to be on speed for McAvoy here. Argen has the blinkers on, raced outside the lead in a very poor race in the Sunday meeting. LABN is up in distance off an 8-day backup. Arizona is drawn wide, looks to have to push forward a bit. They're your handful on the speed here. Any interest in this race?
I thought the market had it wrong. When I did it, I thought, okay, My Kind has a chance here, but I'm going to get odds. Well, it's opened up favourite.
I know, it seems particularly well found. It was 50s, Arizona was 50s, now they're 280 and 11s, or 280 and 950, which seems a bit far apart.
So for me, I think the play in the race is number 6, Sahara Eagle. I think they've priced it wrong here. I mean, massive positive, Wolfgram to McAvoy on a leader, over 1,600 metres. This is
easy to like.
It's just like, was that run a fluke or not?
Well, look, she's bred that way. Oh, he's bred that way. Sorry, and it was basically a situation.
Because they can get out, can't they? Yeah.
They don't know they can get out.
Oh, okay.
It was basically a situation where the horse was unexposed. So, toddling around in an 845 metre trial at Wyong, and then it gets into a race where it can actually get on the speed and show its wares, and they were its wares. I mean, it's hard to convict it.
I think it was a top run. I mean, it's not like the form hasn't been franked as well.
Yeah.
Only, and you noticed Royal Navy was not even going to get close to it at about the 150 metre mark, and then it did actually.
Yeah, it
sprout.
grabbed it.
So it wasn't, and it didn't look to me that was because Sahara Eagle was weak. It was just that Royal Navy was a bit better horse than I thought it was.
Well, it was just hitting its straps. Yeah, look, my kind has trucked along nicely in his 2 runs at Warwick Farm. He looks quite dour. He appreciated a solid tempo and worked the line nicely the other day. Obviously, people are going, well, you know, his 3rd start, coming back to the provincials, up the mile, that's all in order.
Yeah.
No argument there.
Golden Switch.
Yeah, I suppose so. Look, Arizona, I have to say, even though the stable is not performing particularly well, was quite a decent run in that race. She actually set up on the speed, and and the other horse that I want to mention is Bianca's Lad, who did nothing in a race won by Poldark on a Tuesday at Kembla recently, but gets Ty-England. Hasn't actually seen a decent rider ever, and finished alongside my Millie Moo, who did put a hole in them when she went to the mile, admittedly in a 4-year-old nut maiden on this track. So there's actually, you know, there's a couple of strange runners in here. Mirabeau is gauge, time off 11.50 up to the mile. Shown no speed in his trials or his race, but you would imagine that gets on speed here. And LABN, I know that it was sort of found in the race last week and I'd missed it very close up, perhaps a touch unlucky, but I think that form is really dubious.
There's just one question about the 6, and that is...
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Otherwise
you factor
it
that
wins.
into your price.
Yeah.
And make your assessment, and away you go.
A pretty short price, I think.
All right, Gordo's keen there, and I'm not disputing that at all. That's the end of part 1.